Look.
Listen.
Taylor.
Welcome to Look, Listen with Geese Guyera. This is a podcast about Pokemon and other things. It's episode 71. We're going to watch the 28th episode of the new Pokemon anime, Horizons, they call it over here, but in Japan right now we're calling it Gleam and Terapagos or something. Maybe we'll have a different name in English. Who's to say?
Say all the cast members' names. Go on.
We already did that part. Remember you
no,
said Taylor?
I meant the cast members of Pokemon. Welcome to the Pokemon podcast where we talk about Uncle Fritos. We talk about Chef and Rockruff. We talk about Roll.
Yeah, we talk about everybody.
Yeah.
Well, we got a lot to cover today. I got a thick Lookin, Play, and Eatin', so that's going to take an hour at least. So let's move it right on along to our brand new segment, recently created segment, Geese's What's New with Geese segment before Watching, Play, and Eatin' of the Week.
What's going on with Geese?
It's Geese.
I don't know. I just want birding.
Take two. Let's put on a filter, a voice filter, so it's entertaining to listen to.
I saw some birds. Squawk!
Was this the
I saw some eagles.
What?
Yeah.
You say it so casually. What kind of eagles?
Bald.
Big ones.
How did you?
They were
How
big.
did you see those? Where?
Oh, we usually see these eagles anyway.
No,
They have
no. No one's that cool, Geese.
Did she just get a cold in the second half of her sentence? It sounded
Yes,
like she said, we
Yeah, she said, we usually see this.
It's impressive.
No, there's a park we go to, and there's an eagle's nest, and we usually see eagles there. There's two eagles. They're lovers, and they're in love.
And what?
They're in love. Was there anything more to add about the birds, Geese Peep?
We also saw a belted kingfisher, which we also see usually.
I would have led with the belted kingfisher and finished off with the eagles.
Time to move on to watching, playing, listening this week. This week, I saw a concert with Shelly, friend of the show. We went to a concert at the Echo, not to be confused with the Echoplex in Echo Park. Shelly and I went to go see Princess Chelsea because, like all artists these days, one day I saw an Instagram reel and one of her songs was playing in the background on a little loop. And I said, that sounds like a cool song.
Sick.
So I look it up and then start listening to her discography and show her to Shelly, specifically my favorite song of hers, Yulia. Now, here's the thing about the song Yulia. Great song. We were real concerned because she wasn't playing it on this tour. And Princess Chelsea put up these little Instagram posts saying, what song do you want us to play? And I wrote, Yulia, please God, play Yulia. I don't know what I'll do if you don't. And I had Shelly also just keep sending, please play Yulia. And so like on her post for that night's performance, I put, please, for the love of all that is good, play Yulia. And one other person wrote Yulia, and I liked their comment and just kept talking about Yulia. So we get to the show. Shelly sees the set list, and Yulia is on it, and I'm losing my mind. She starts to play the first couple notes of Yulia. I scream so loud. And she says, yes, this one goes out to all those people that requested Yulia today. And I said to her, yeah, that was me. She said that was you, and I said, yeah, and all my alternate accounts.
Oh my gosh.
But there was one other person that was excited about it too. But I'll tell you who wasn't excited about it. The drummer in the group. He's just sitting there bored like Geese yawning. It was so good. Such a good song.
I feel like if you're, I mean, they write the songs.
She wrote the song. What are you talking about?
There should be something in there for the drummer to do.
Yeah, just a little bit. He went like dun 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 dun.
That's sick. Then you get like all your time to dance behind the drum set.
He wasn't dancing. He was just not smiling. Poor guy.
Man. Maybe there's like some drama about that song.
But I actually, because she wasn't playing it, because that song is about, I guess, a friend of hers named Yulia, and Chelsea saying, what do you see in him? I know you're not happy. And then I was just saying to Shelly, what if she married that guy?
Drama.
Oh, what if it was the drummer and it's drama?
Oh my God, that would make so much sense.
Instead of drama.
And then
Geese.
And then I went to IMAX to see the film The Hunger Games: The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. Let's start off the bat. Number one, I feel bad because there's nobody in that theater, so it's not going to do well, I can tell. Number two.
Number one. Okay.
A, number one. B, number two. As is the case, pretty much any time you watch a movie based off of a book you just read, you run into these same issues where, okay, let's celebrate the movie for a second here.
Okay, so let's go A2 subset 1. Let's go.
Yes, this is XI asterisk.
Sick.
Footnote.
Thank you, Geese.
You're
make sure to source correctly. There are some sick.
Should we use APA or Chicago style?
Chicago style.
APA. There are some scenes in this film in IMAX. They're pumping in the music real sick, and the set design is incredible, and you're going, oh, okay, this is actually sick. Like, there are a couple scenes in the film where I went, oh, man, my imagination clearly is not great, because I remember reading that scene, and it was just a tiny little room in my head, but then in the movie, it's the most grand IMAX music, close-up, giant architecture, and I was going, oh, man, that was way more sick. But then you get every other scene, which is, oh boy, this is rushed. And I mean, it feels just cliche to complain about, but just cutting characters, cutting scenes, people that had so many scenes in the book, and you actually had character relationships and development in the movie. They're just on the screen for 1 second. And the main character, Coriolanus Snow, aka from Hunger Games, President of Pan Am, he's not as interesting in the movie because he never has a chance to have a character or change his mind on things, because you're in a movie and you have to speed it along.
Wait, is this a prequel?
It's a prequel, yes.
Oh.
The main crux of the film and book takes place during the 10th annual Hunger Games.
I'm a huge Donald Sutherland fan.
He plays bad guys a lot.
He's good.
He plays bad guys in such an entertaining way. I think he's very underrated.
So a part of me was thinking, man, this would have been better as a mini series than a movie, because you could have actually had all the scenes you needed. But then if it was a mini series, obviously the budget would be smaller and the scenes wouldn't be as sick and cool. So I don't know, hard to say. Did I enjoy it? Yeah, there's fun to be had. I don't want to criticize the acting, because the parts that I wasn't into, I feel like, with the script they were given, I don't know how I could have done any better. I can't believe I didn't mention this as a positive for the movie. The music. That's one of my biggest pet peeves reading a book is, yes, here's a page of lyrics. The character sings, and then you just read that like an idiot.
Oh, I hate that. That's all over Song of Ice and Fire. Every single character's like, it's time for a ballad around the fire. And it's just 6 pages of lyrics. And I'm sitting there thinking, well, okay.
But in the movie, it's great. You get to hear the song and you go, yeah, sick. I'm getting to listen to it.
Didn't Olivia Rodrigo do the songs for that movie? No?
I don't recall.
Okay.
Time for Google of the Week.
Who's to say?
Yeah,
I'm going to say yes.
This is going to be a sick edit. Watch this. Olivia Rodrigo. Ballad, Songbirds, Snakes? I keep seeing Ballad of a Homeschooled Girl. Is that what you're thinking of?
Oh, maybe.
Okay, all right. So we're going to say, I don't think so.
Can't Catch Me Now is her song. So I guess she wrote at least one song on there.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think she did the whole thing. Maybe one song. Oh, I'm going to look so smart.
You got him.
How would you compare it to the other Hunger Games movies?
It's tough to say. It makes me want more out of this universe. I've seen some other people mention this, but you open the door with this prequel, I want more books and I want TV shows, because it's an interesting universe and it makes you want to.
You open the door and Michael comes up, knock, 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 and wanting more.
On that open door.
on the open door.
Just leaning into the building and knocking on the door.
He comes in, he knocks so hard, he forgets the door is closed, and he falls right on his face.
Oh, no.
I don't even understand what you just
I don't
said.
either.
But I will close.
It's a metaphor.
I will close the door after it's been opened. Oh, and of course, you name any book and movie, you get this problem too. In the book, such luscious descriptions of delicious food every chapter, because you gotta eat in a book. At least once a chapter, you're eating some delicious food. There's like 2 scenes of food in this whole movie. He doesn't even go to the lady's house for food in this one. Are you kidding me? He doesn't even go to the lady's house.
That's the one thing that I'll really give Mortal Kombat, is there's a lot of dinner scenes.
Yeah.
There's a lot of characters eating big old turkey legs. And
then tomorrow is going to be a very exciting day because I'm rushing off to the movie theaters to watch the new Hayao Miyazaki film, The Boy and the Heron.
I've been so excited about that. I haven't looked up any promotional material at all.
Also tomorrow I can get buy one, get one free Raising Cane's, so very excited. Real quick, let's fly through my other stuff. Mario Wonder.
Got a real quick question from the audience over here, Your Honor. Does that include big ol' tailgates? Or is it just like a box combo?
It's always just the box combo for the BOGOs. Still playing through Mario Wonder. I'm at the end of that. I'll beat it soon. It's a fun game. I don't like it as much as everyone else. Of course, everyone else isn't playing Spider-Man 2, so they're real quick to say, oh, Mario Wonder's better than Spider-Man 2. I enjoyed my time with Spider-Man 2 more, but that probably has something to do with when I play Spider-Man 2, there's never a second of, oh, I missed that coin. In Spider-Man 2, it's you just keep going. I collected everything. There's never, oh, I need to look something up. Well, maybe there's like, I looked up one little spider collectible, but I did that at the end of the game. It was just a flow state of keep going, keep going, keep going. Whereas Mario Wonder, I'll beat a level and then feel like I'm done playing. You know, the difference between a lot of games where you just, there's games where you feel like, oh, I have so much to do. And one thing leads to a new thing, and you just find yourself playing it for hours, and you don't even realize the time's going by. And then there's other games where you have your checklist, and you go, okay, I did that. I guess I'm done playing now. And that's how I feel with Mario Wonder, is that I just don't feel like playing after a while. And it's the most frustrating thing in the world is when I missed one little coin and I can't go back. So I got to do the whole level again, or I miss a coin, and then I say to myself, in an ideal world, I would just play this level again and try to find it. But in actuality, I only have so many hours in a day. I'm not going to waste my time, my precious time on this planet, looking for this coin. I'm just going to quickly Google, where's that last coin? Okay, then I'm going to go get it. And it's just not as fun as playing Spider-Man 2. But, I mean, I don't have to 100% it, but I am, so I don't know.
In defense of Google, Spider-Man 2 v. Mario Wonder. Do you think Mario Wonder deserves the Game of the Year nod?
The
nomination?
nod?
By who?
The nomination.
It's fine. Oh, what was that, Geese?
By who? Oh.
He didn't say winner. He said nomination.
Yeah. Keely's the big one.
It deserves to be nominated because it's incredibly... Every single level has a new thing. So just for that, just for the wonder in it, it deserves a nomination. But I would 100% remove Resident Evil 4 Remake and put in Final Fantasy 16. That's a travesty. Okay.
The fact that they didn't get Final Fantasy 16 in is very frustrating to me. And Lies of P really got snubbed too.
That was this year? Okay, well, don't feel too bad. There's going to be plenty of outlets that have Lies of P and Final Fantasy 16. The Keelys is literally just, they pick mainstream games people and they all throw in their votes. And it's like counted on a number ballot. So
yeah,
probably Lies of P and Final Fantasy 16 are numbers like 7 and 8. In terms of number of people who put it. So imagine every single person had Final Fantasy 16 on their list, but it was all near the bottom of the list. So that wouldn't get enough points to cover the people who put Resident Evil 4 in their top 3 or whatever, you know.
I was very disappointed reading the nominations this year.
Well, it's one of the best years. A lot of people are saying the best year for video games of all time. So that's going to happen. They're far too many, and it's all because of COVID. Everything got delayed, and they all got backed up into just this one area for several years.
When's the last year that? Because this is the best year for games that I can think of since the 90s.
2007 is one of the best years for games.
2007. Okay.
Yeah,
what came out?
That's BioShock and I think Half-Life 2 or Orange Box.
When was Mass Effect?
2007, probably.
Because I remember those. There was a very small window of time where I was really playing Xbox games.
Early that generation, that's where you want to be.
Oh, so good. It was, and that was the Xbox you got me, I believe. Lost Odyssey, Blue
Michael
Dragon.
never got me an Xbox.
Oh yeah, he talked to me about that earlier, but we can talk about that later. Yeah.
Also,
Go on.
I don't even know what Taylor's talking about because I'm talking about my Eevee raid and Scarlet Vine. Did my little Eevee raid like I predicted last week. Very easy. I just threw in an Annihilate because he seems like he'd be great against Eevee. Eevee certainly couldn't hit me, but he had his Terror Charge up the whole time, so I couldn't screech him. So basically, the other guys had the whole team on their back, but it was fine. We still won. We did it. Woo! And then I started Mario RPG. So adorable. That's one of the greats. Everybody played. So cute. So wonderful.
Oh, sick.
And real quick, peanut butter mochi I ate with Shelly and Lil Tokyo, and I ate a beef bowl. And everybody, that's real good. If you can somehow find a peanut butter mochi, I recommend it.
I'm so jealous.
Okay. Geese Peep, please go ahead. I've talked for too long.
All right. Watching. I watched with Aaron The History of the Minnesota Vikings by Secret Base. It was 9 hours long and very entertaining.
I don't believe you. I don't believe you, Geese.
I believe.
Good. I love John Boyce. He does he's such a great storyteller, and he does immaculate data visualizations. Yum, yum, yum. Also, I made a huge mistake today.
Geese, what?
In Pokemon Sleep, it's the start of Eevee week.
Because I thought she was going to say she got fired. Oh.
I made a huge mistake in Pokemon Sleep. I was like, I'm going to update my Swallobaloo to make it into a, whatever it's called, fancy bird.
Altaria.
And
Swablu, not Swallobaloo.
I
like Swallobaloo.
Swallobaloo is objectively a better name.
It's cute. Sorry.
Anyway, okay, I'm at Cyan Beach. Where
you can't get everyone wrong.
I'm gonna have a breakdown. Please let me
talk.
Hey,
it's been a long time since she's had a breakdown.
I know.
Geese's breakdown of the year.
I'm at Cyan Beach, where Snorlax's favorite berries are Pecha berries, Oran berries, and the other berry that I can't remember. So Swallobaloo collects Pecha berries. And so I didn't realize when I evolved it that it gets a different berry when it's evolved. So now I'm not going to be able to level up as fast in Cyan Beach, and I made a mistake.
Clambos, let me tell you right now. This is why Geese is a much higher level in Pokemon Sleep than I am, because I have not once cared what his favorite berries are. He's going to eat the berries I feed him from the pokes I think are the cutest and the shiniest, and that's that.
And I am very closely in third place, having logged Sleep one time.
Yeah, I removed you as a friend.
Ooh, God.
I didn't even know we were friends.
I've logged hundreds of hours of sleep. Have we logged thousands of hours of sleep?
I've logged thousands of hours.
There's no way.
What, you don't sleep? Well, she sleeps. She goofs the game and doesn't even turn it off till she slept 12 hours. But mine is normally 7 hours-ish per night. So you multiply 7 times 100. That's 700 right there. So what? I haven't slept 100 days? Come on now. That's 700 right there.
I turn it off when I get 8 hours, so I get the full amount of XP.
Yeah.
But it turns off your phone, right?
No. What? No. You run the app. She runs the app while she sleeps. I just use this little guy to sleep with.
Oh, how do you do that? Can you still use your phone when that's going on? Because I sleep with my phone. I sleep with my phone next to me.
You can use your phone if you use a Pokemon Go++ to sleep. Geese Peep, let's hear about your eating this week, and I'm excited for you.
Spoilers. We finally found a good restaurant in Madison.
I'm sorry,
congratulations.
I talked over you. Can you start over?
We finally found a good restaurant in Madison. It's a Mediterranean
Congratulations.
restaurant.
I'm sorry. Can you say it's a Mediterranean restaurant because Taylor spoke over you?
It's a Mediterranean restaurant, and we got chicken kebab, falafel. Very good, very yummy. I also ordered shawarma, but they did not give it to me. So,
oh, did you get a refund?
well, they gave us chicken kebab instead. So, no.
Are you the type of person where you just take it? You're just like, yeah, well, they didn't slap me, so
we
I'm
didn't
okay.
check until we got home. So,
oh, it was a takeaway thing.
Oh my God, I almost forgot my eating. Guess what?
You said peanut butter mochi and beef bowls.
I know. But
he's
I forgot.
He's crying, guys. He's crying. He can't believe he forgot.
It's these Santa Ana wins. I saw a meme page for Los Angeles, and I liked it so fast because it's so true. These Santa Ana winds are making my lips so dry and my eyes so irritated, and it's every day now. Okay, Clambos, you know that Taco Bell in the past has had the Taco Pass, where you pay $10 and then every day you get a free taco. Well, they just introduced the Nacho Fries Pass, so every day I get free French fries and sauce, and I'm saving out the wazoo, because every day I was adding the fries to my cheesy bean and rice burritos, and I was ordering a side of Chipotle sauce, so I'm saving $2 now every day. Oh my God. So many nacho fries and Chipotle sauce.
That's like $60.
It is.
Whoa.
All right, and now let's move on to Taylor's watching, playing, eating.
What did I watching? What did I playing? What did I eating?
What did I eat?
I thought you were going to go real loud with the engine revving. There's a whole lot of street racing going on in Main Street in Houston, or near Main Street. I guess they're not doing it on Main Street. It's whatever street's near us.
Just like my jury.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe they raced all the way to Houston on the 10 freeway. I watched the movie Good Time again. I haven't seen it since I saw it in 2016. And it was one of the reasons that I really started to enjoy Robert Pattinson as an actor and started to say, hey, this guy's great. It is terrific. Much funnier than I remember. Very good to watch with other people. And it's just overall fantastic movie. I tell people it's a better version of Uncut Gems, and I still kind of stand by that. Playing Neo 2 DLC. I got it. I enjoyed the game so much. The loot system is so good. The gameplay loop is so satisfying. It's just quick, fast. There's so much player expression within the character, which is real sick. And that's in contrast to what I normally like, which is something like Lies of P, where you're just reacting to a bunch of different...
I'm sorry, Taylor.
Yeah.
What video game?
Lies of P. Yeah, I'm comparing Neo 2 and Lies of P, because those are the most recent Souls-likes, even though Neo, I don't know.
I wonder what the P stands for in Lies of P. Or is that her middle name?
Last name, definitely.
It's her last name.
Yeah. Pernelli.
Inside joke of the week. We used to know a woman named Pernelli.
Cool.
All right, is it time for Poke News of the Week?
Not yet. I've spoken for 40 seconds.
Poke News of the
Darn it.
Week.
I guess I'm done.
Yep, let's keep going.
I wasn't eating or playing. I don't have any thoughts on the matter. Don't worry about it.
All right, let's move on to Poke News of the Week. Clambo's the next 7-star raid has been announced. It's a Hisuian Samurai Water Terra type. It's from November 24th through November 26th, and then again from December 1st through December 3rd. Thank you so much, Joe Sarabi, for helping us out on Poke News of the Week. Also, because happy 1-year birthday to Pokemon Scarlet Violet, there's a brand new music video released called Beady Beady by Yoasobi, and I'd say click the link, but just Google that, you'll find
slaps.
it. Geese said
The song slaps.
it's a good song. Now on to Taylor. Will you send the camera crew to reporter Geese Peep, who this week has traveled with the expense of Gun Can's company to Quito in Ecuador.
And cutting over to Quito in Ecuador, courtesy of a construction company, here is reporter Geese Peep.
Geese Keeps is buying more some cheap Ecuadorian construction materials.
That's a very real thing. Let's hear it from Geese. How's your all-expenses-paid trip?
Straight out the horse's mouth.
Into the jungle.
Geese's beak. Hey, what's up?
Hi, Geese.
Hey.
Hi. I'm having a great time here in Quito, Ecuador, where it's 67 degrees Fahrenheit and 76% humidity. Wow, I'm sweating. But good thing I have a nice tall drink of Coca-Cola.
This segment sponsored by Coca-Cola.
Is that sugar-free or made with cane sugar?
Sugar-free.
You know what it is.
Fantastic.
What did she say? Oh, there it is.
I thought she said, you know what it is.
Oh, like a Pokemon.
Oh.
Okay, thank you very much, reporter Geese Peep out in Ecuador. Okay, bye.
When you said 67 degrees, he said, I'm here in Ecuador, Quito, Ecuador, where it's 67, and I thought you said where a 67, and I thought you were going to say a 67-year-old man just came up and gave me a hug.
Oh my God, that happened to poor Shelly. She can't walk these mean streets of Los Angeles alone because old men start talking to her and then asking her where she's going and following her off the train and
You
then
mean
asking
she's
her
a
where
woman?
asking her where her hotel is and what her
Oh,
hotel
no.
is. Luckily, she told him the wrong hotel. What are you gonna do?
Was she she wasn't by herself, right? She was with Tone Zone.
No, that was last time. But I accompanied her as much as I could. She also met up with a friend of hers for brunch.
Oh, gosh. Brunch is so good in Los Angeles.
Evidently. And to a place you had to get a reservation for like weeks in advance.
The interesting thing about restaurants is that type of restaurant where you had to get a reservation a long time ago used to mean the restaurant was good. Now it means the restaurant is physically appealing. Like your food is very pretty. It's very how much that's changed.
And now we have reached the segment of this Pokemon podcast where we discuss an episode of Pokemon. This time, episode 28 of Horizons, Terapagos' Big Ol' Gleaming. Geese, let's hear the name of the episode in English.
The Stolen Treasure.
Or in Japanese, Nusumareta Takaramono. We got some very mysterious music as this episode opens, Clambo. We're going straight into the street market. Liko, Fritos, and Roy are looking for this antique shop that we discussing last week, very, very mysteriously. Turns out Grandma Diana didn't come along on account of she's too busy deciphering ancient text. Very suspicious if you ask me, Clambo. Ooh, what food does Geese have?
Chicken.
Chicken.
You can't. What type of chicken, Geese?
I don't know.
Oh, look, it's that lampet signpost that Grandma Diana told us about. This is the antique shop. Let's go approach. They approach the antique shop, Clambos, and we have an old, if you ask me, suspicious-looking man. His name is Tepen, and he starts trying to sell these kids some absolute nonsense, Geese.
Frito is not amused.
I was so happy they actually had an adult with them because if they didn't, those kids were going to get bamboozled so fast.
A lot of good it did. I'll bring it up later, but yeah, Fritos was a little suspicious, but he should have been a lot more suspicious because poor little baby Roy, the naive little Japanese boy who grew up on an island and knew everyone on the island and everybody was so trustworthy, he's hanging on every word of this scam artist. Spoilers.
I was feeling that the way Fritos leaned in later and was saying, oh, something seems a little suspicious, doesn't it? Was kind of a teaching moment. And he thought that the repercussions would be relatively innocuous compared to what they actually were.
I think Liko is a little more clever, but again, not clever enough, if you ask me. I'm going to bring this up later, but There's parts of this episode that we're really pushing in. Yeah, this is a television series for children. So we get the old man Teppan trying to sell some sleep powder, then saying he's got a 20,000-year-old Rotom phone fossil, even though smartphones came out just a couple decades ago. So anyway, the kids talked to him about, oh yeah, you know my grandma, Diana, right? And he said, oh yeah, we went on all these adventures together. You wouldn't believe it. We got wrapped up from an Ariados for a week. And then the kids were thinking, that sounds suspicious. You were upside down for a week? And he's like, oh yeah.
Very, very amusing. When Liko was like, wouldn't the blood have gone to your head? But when he said, I have a 20,000-year-old phone, she was just like, okay.
Yeah, a couple of goofballs, yes, me.
If you're trapped in a web for a week and you're upside down, you're just pooping on yourself, right?
Oh, geese.
I feel like your body would halt bowel movements.
Yeah, you can go a week without pooping.
What are you eating?
You'd have to eat a small amount of food to not poop for a week.
No, I mean like to also survive a week being tied up.
I mean, Diane has so much canned food, but... Diana, sorry. You can go a week without food.
Yeah, it's water will get you in trouble.
Yeah. Which is why Taylor's tip of the week is to always be hydrated. When people say they don't drink water, I say you are very silly. Your body is mostly water.
Roy decides he's going to show off his ancient Pokeball. Now, this is a mistake, if you ask me or anyone else.
Also, exactly what a 10-year-old with a really cool thing would do.
That's true. Teppan freaks out and asks Roy to hand over his backpack. And Roy says, okay. He proceeds to turn his back and mess with his backpack a lot and say, oh, yeah, never mind. I can't sell this Pokeball. Have a good day. Okay, everybody. Okay, bye. And they start walking away, and Hatena starts saying, Hatena, that man is evil. And nobody listens. Everybody just thinks Hatena's hungry because Fuecoco's hungies, Roy's hungies. Let's all go to lunch and not even worry about it.
Which was the very questionable Fritos part, where he said, oh, everyone, it's close to lunchtime. That's the problem with Hatena.
So they're all eating lunch. Come on, guys. Pay more attention to Hatena. If I was Hatena, I'd be so peeved right now. Or maybe Hatena should have done more, like jump out of the backpack and like run over to him. I don't know. Hatena didn't know that he specifically stole the Pokeball. Hatena just sensed his bad intentions. So
correct.
She sensed the bad vibes.
So they're all sitting there eating, and then Geese. What starts to happen with Roy's backpack?
It starts moving, and Roy goes to look, and then out pops a Pokemon whose name is...
Fungus.
Fungus. What a stupid name.
It's very
He evolves
adorable.
into Amoongus, Geese. Fungus and Amoongus.
Okay, that's better.
Jeez Louise.
I rescind my comment.
Cut back to Evil Man Teppan. He calls out Bronzor, Lampent, Bronzong, and Honedge. Tells them the great evil plan of we're stealing this Pokeball and we gotta skip town before they notice. So everybody quickly pack up the whole shop. We're leaving.
He's also on the phone with a prospective buyer, and he mentions that the buyer better make it worth it for him to sell it.
All very, very suspicious. Could he be talking to the explorers? Only one way to find out.
Who's to say?
Who's to say?
Again, can't believe Fritos let this happen. I guess we said it could have been a learning moment, but come on now. This is when Liko does posit the theory that maybe the explorers have something to do with this. Is Old Man Teppan working for the explorers? Now, children, split up. We're gonna go find Old Man Teppan. Me, Fritos, I'm gonna take the skies. Charizard, let's go. And Charizard, make sure to put caution to the wind. I don't care how many thousands of dollars is worth of damage we do. We gotta find that man.
It's a very sick scene where he says Charizard go after him. Charizard does a sick little like micro takeoff where he ascends 6 inches and then just launches down the pathway, and it's so sick looking.
And then Teppan sees Fritos in the air, so he ties the ancient Pokeball to Lampet in a little bag. And he tells all his Pokemon to run to the usual spot. Frito shows up and confronts the old man, but Teppan's playing dumb, Clambos. He's saying, I don't know anything about your ancient Pokeball. I don't have it. And Frito starts digging through all his stuff, and he can't find it anywhere. But then he realizes the Lampet must have it.
How would you like remember that, or like think to remember that? Seems
you
like a
wouldn't.
big
'Cause
stretch.
This episode isn't maybe not the strongest written, but what are we gonna do?
That's fine. Because there are many, many times where everybody's running through all these pathways in this city that's crowded, and they're like, oh, you're right there? Ooh.
So then the old man throws the entire cart at Fritos in an attempted murder.
Just the strength required for that.
Fritos is covered in a giant cart, and he yells to Charizard, Charizard, go get him. Charizard sees the market and just keeps, what does he do?
Just destroys everything.
Back and forth, too. It's not even once. He comes back to do more damage.
Yeah.
To destroy every single stall. Radishes everywhere. These poor people.
Fastest I've ever seen Charizard fly.
And it's funny because he looks back at Frito after the people are yelling at Frito, like, is that your Pokemon? You need to help us. And he's like, oh no. His face is like so funny.
Yeah, and something that would only happen in a show made in Japan, Fritos then gives up his quest to do the right thing, which is clean up the entire mess that Charizard made. And he just calls the children and says, children, I'm sorry, you gotta find this Lampet because I gotta clean up some radishes.
Is running back and forth with
So funny.
various merchandise in his arms. He's so determined. Ugh.
I'm not going to say this episode really holds up to any kind of logical scrutiny, but it's got some good bits.
Yeah. That's some Avatar The Last Airbender energy, probably.
Oh, yeah.
My cabbages. Now we cut to Roy, and he sees Lampet, and the music, I gotta say, far too dramatic. If we're being the music they start playing, most dramatic reveal of the final big villain, and they're in the biggest final fight of the series. But instead, it's just, oh, Roy sees Lampet. It's a while.
It's real intense. Well, when I listened to Frito's seminar, spoilers for the seminar. When I listened to Frito's seminar later, encountering a Lampet is terrifying.
And then the music for that segment is so cheery, and like what they're revealing is so terrifying.
Hospitals.
Yeah. What? You spoiled the entire thing?
Oh, cut that out. I'm sorry. Spoilers. Post spoilers. In memoriam for knowledge. I'm sorry.
We're in the commercial break, and we're back from the commercial break. Oh my God! It's the Ad Ancient Pokeball. After them, Liko and Roy. That's me talking, I guess. and then all these evil Pokemon, again, Pokemon aren't evil, only people, but the Pokemon that belong to evil Teppan run into a museum. So of course Liko and Roy chase after, and oh no, Clambos, everything in this museum looks like these Pokemon. You got some lamps that look like Lampent, some bells that look like Bronzong, some swords that look like Honedge. What are we gonna do?
Boy, Coco seeing those lamps and getting all excited, and the little sound effect that went into it cracked me up.
Remember, he's little head empty. That's what we call him.
To be fair, the Pokemon is literally just a head, and all he wants to do is eat, so you have to imagine 90% of him is stomach, mouth.
Hungies. And then the children go upstairs, walk by all of the Pokemon clearly grouped up together, and it's just Saturday morning cartoons at this point. It's just Hanna-Barbera. It's just Tom and Jerry. It's just Scooby-Doo. Actually, it gets Scooby-Doo at the end, too, but...
Earlier in the alleyways was real strong Scooby energy. Knocking over carts, finding them one time, then they run away, then you find them again.
So they walk by them. These blind children don't notice, and then they walk a little further, and then they notice, and that gives the Pokemon enough time to escape. Oh, God. The chase continues.
I'm just so surprised they didn't catch up to them earlier, given how little they're trying to run away. And why not just hide? I'm always a little bit confused by chase scenes because I feel like there's so many good hiding spots.
We also see Captain Pikachu looking around for them. I guess I forgot to mention, but Captain Pikachu, when he was with Fritos and Charizard while they were cleaning up, Fritos said, Cap, get out here and look for the Pokeball.
The other adult in the room.
Neither adult
Yeah.
can beat you. And now we cut to
It's the Santa Ana wins.
we cut to Fritos finally finishing up the work. And this is such a good little scene because they want to run towards finding the ancient Pokeball, but little Charizard's being so careful now. He always flies off, but he's just doing this awkward little
It's
run,
so funny. It's so
speed walk
good.
with his little legs.
And everybody's offering Fritos a job.
Oh, yeah, like, man, you're good at putting stuff up. You want to work for us, buddy? He says, no.
And it's very amusing because, one, that happens at little farmers markets, and two, really, really makes me question the economic situation in Pokemon more.
Yeah, we don't need to keep bringing it up every episode.
I know, but it's always on my mind.
And then we see Liko and Roy chase the Pokemon into a big giant park. That's fun. And now it looks like we're going to have ourselves a big giant battle. So Geese is going to take a nap, drink some chicken. Peace out. I got to say, Honedge actually starts this battle off very sick by unsheathing himself.
I was so intimidated. I was just looking at Honedge coming out of that sheath and looking at Roy thinking, I'm sorry, buddy, you're not ready for this one.
Yeah, tiny little Fuecoco just having a sword attack it over and over again. So Lampet runs away while Bronzong and Honedge stay to fight Fuecoco and everybody else.
And they do what I always want Pokemon to do, which is real creative combo moves.
Now, if it's me thinking about this battle, I say, Fuecoco, you got this in the bag. You're fighting two steel types. You're a fire type. Easy. Get him.
But he's not. It would be different if it was Charizard. Fuecoco just learned Flamethrower.
Fuecoco, dodge out of the way of all those swords. Ember. Oh no, here comes Taylor's sick team-up move. Bronzong is going to cover Fuecoco. And so he's trapped in this big bell, and then Honedge comes in and bangs on the bell, and it does a big sonic boom attack, much like spoilers. Well, maybe I shouldn't say. Taylor will get upset. Although, it's not, I don't know. Never mind.
Oh, is it from the Marvels?
I'm not going to say what it's from, because then it's a spoiler.
Oh, is it from Neo 2? Is it the third DLC in Neo 2?
Oh my god, is Fuecoco knocked out? We cut to Liko running into Lampet and Bronzor. Sprigatito used Leafage, but Bronzor's protecting from the Leafage. Oh my god. Then Liko says,
I will say, I'll preempt this with, it is now my second favorite command after Dodge It.
Sprigatito, use Leafage while running around.
It's so silly.
Oh my god, even though Sprigatito's running around, the Bronzor is still blocking the move. But luckily, Hatena uses Psychic to pick up a shovel nearby to cut the string off the bag with the Pokeball in it.
Is that the first time we've seen Hatena use any kind of attack or participate in a battle?
I want to say no. I'm sure Hatena's done that before, but who's to
I figured
say?
it was maybe like in the first episode where Hatena was introduced.
Please write into looklistandcast@gmail.com. Has Hatena ever attacked before? You tell me. The Pokeball, the ancient Pokeball drops to the ground. Sprigatito grabs it, the ancient Pokeball. And then we get to such an hysterical moment. Such a hysterical moment that the writers must be playing a joke on us. They must be laughing at the joke they're pulling in writing in anime versus the video game. Lampent uses the Pokemon move from the video game Thief
Yeah.
to grab the Pokeball. As opposed to just grabbing the Pokeball. It's grabbing the Pokeball, but it's slightly glowing. It's an anime. It's not a video game. It doesn't make any sense.
The funniest part of that to me was everybody else performed the exact same action. Everybody at one point has grabbed the Pokeball. And this one just had to have an attack tied to it.
It's so silly. In the video game, Thief would be you steal the Pokemon's held item. In the anime, it's that Pokemon glows slightly and now picks up the item. Okay, so the kids are talking to Teppan at this point, saying, were you lying about knowing Grandma Diana? Are you secretly working with the explorers? In my mind, I was thinking, wait, is Grandma Diana secretly working with the explorers? There's no way.
I've wondered that a couple times.
And now, battle time. Fuecoco use flamethrower. Quick attack, Sprigatito. Oh my god, Tepin uses ally switch. He hits the wrong one. Flamethrower, rain dance. Honestly, you watch this battle, I'm telling you, I'm with everybody else. Tepin is a very good battler. He knows.
Incredibly.
Even I thought that, and I usually zone out during these scenes.
Ooh.
He should not be wasting his time thieving. He could easily go and, I'm raising my eyebrows real high right now, adventure around as a Pokemon trainer because he's good at it.
All you had to do was see that Bronzong and that...
It's Honedge.
All you have to do is see those two Pokemon independently working together. And you're like, whoever trained them needs to be at the top of the Elite Four. Wow.
So Tepin's definitely winning this battle against these children. But then Roy pulls out Watchroll, and Watchroll attacks Lampent with a spark.
I think that Lamplet's name in Japanese is better.
What is it?
Lampler.
Yeah, Lampler's very cute. It's like Doppler.
And Lampent drops the Pokeball again, and Sprigatito gets the Ancient Ball again, and then Honedge uses Metal Sound, and Sprigatito drops the ball again. Clambos, we're jumping ahead to review the week, but this is so boring. You can't just keep over and over again. I got the Pokeball, I dropped the Pokeball, they got the Pokeball, I dropped the Pokeball. It's not good.
It's just juggling.
You're wasting my time.
I thought it was very funny that Sprigatito got the ball earlier. Finally, Wattrel is called into battle. Finally, we see Roy go, Wattrel. I'm all excited. Wattrel does something right. Immediately, first thing, just does it right. Ball goes launching into the air. And who's going to get it? In my mind, Wattrel. In reality, Sprigatito. Just jump 50 feet in the air, get the ball, and we're just going to rinse and repeat.
Yeah, like a cat with a little yarn ball. Then finally something new happens. Fungus walks in and sleep powders all the kids' Pokemon with that sleep powder bottle from earlier.
And himself.
Yeah, little Fungus falls asleep because it's very strong sleep powder. So, looks like Tepin's gonna win this battle after all. But Geese, who shows up out of nowhere like every episode, jumping out of the bushes?
Team Rocket!
No. Who really jumps out of the bushes?
Grandma.
No, Geese, it's Captain Pikachu, you goof.
Oh.
And Captain Pikachu straight up myrtleizes all of Tepin's pokes. Tepin's pokes must be like level 40 something, and Captain Pikachu's level 100, EV trained, max stats, the correct ability, correct terror type, good to go.
Mm-hmm.
Because, oh god, Captain Pikachu knocks out every one of these Pokemon just immediately.
Yeah, with one Chidori.
And he catches the little bag with the Pokeball with his tail. Very sick. And then Charizard flies in to eat Tepin. But Frito stops him. I love how 35 characters jump in before Grandma, but Geese said Grandma.
To be honest with you, I can understand her saying Grandma because I had to rewatch this entire scene because I zoned out after the 100th time of them dropping the ball. I was like, oh no, something actually happened.
Then Frito stops Charizard from eating Tepin, and Roy finally gets his ancient Pokeball back. And this is the scene where it's just straight, the composition of the frame is exactly Scooby-Doo as they're pulling the mask off the villain. And then finally, Grandma finally shows up, and it turns out he did know her. They knew each other. They have plenty of stories to tell.
Including the week in the webs.
And it turns out, Clambos, this scoundrel sold her. It was a fake. That ancient text she was trying to decipher was a ruse. It was a reproduction. It was not real.
The line that Liko screams out, Grandma, I thought you were deciphering the ancient text, really cracked me up.
The end of the book, she knew it was fake when it said, find out more online. So because of this, Grandma says, Arcanine, burn him alive to ashes and bones. Arcanine then starts to build up a giant fire attack to
cremation
burn him at the stake until Liko says, Grandma, That would be murder in the first degree. But turns out they really did explore together. So, well, forgive and forget, I guess.
Yep.
Turns out he really did hang up for an entire week in the webs of an Ariados.
Grandma was like, what happened to you? You used to be an adventurer with a passion for excavation.
He said something that really surprised me. I thought he was going to say, like, give some sob story about how, like, oh, Grandma, you left, or Diana, you left, or life took a turn, or something happened. He just said, that was never who I was. I was always just better at stealing things. And I was like, okay, I like you, Teppan. You're at least shooting straight.
But then Grandma says, that's not true at all, Teppan, and I'll prove it to you. It just so happens that if you grab a Bronzor and wipe his back and then shove his back in your face, it'll show you who you truly are.
Is that a thing?
Evidently. I mean, I'm sure. Look, Bronzor's been in a lot of games. I'd say probably he's got to have 6 to 12 Pokedex entries at least. Probably more than that. But if you figure he has a diamond entry, a pearl entry, so on and so forth. I bet one of those Pokedex entries says, oh, by the way, if you look at the back of a Bronzor, it'll show you your true self. Something like that.
It's just out of nowhere. It was like, and here from the Legend of King Arthur.
Yeah, so she does that, shows Teppan, and it shows him as young Teppan with a tiny little baby Litwick before he evolved into a Lampent when he was a true Nathan Drake adventurer that would never steal anything. Grandma Diana tries to convince Teppan that he's still an adventurer at heart, not a thief. You're a good guy, but he says he's too big of a coward, Geese.
Which is interesting because, like, the Indiana Jones, relic hunters, they are thieves.
Yeah. Grandma says, look, Teppan, only the first step is the scary one. You're gonna get over it. We get a very amusing scene. Grandma Diana says, aren't you ashamed? You're making all these Pokemon do all your evil deeds. And then all of Teppan's Pokemon surround him and just say their name to him. So silly. And we get the xylophone music going. The ding, doo, 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 doo.
It was very strange. What a weird scene.
What happens to Teppan when the xylophone music comes in and all his pokes are pouring their hearts out? He's bawling. He's apologizing to everybody. We then, like every single episode, it's on the list of things you must hit. Every episode's got to start in the morning, and then right near the end, they cut to dusk. And always at dusk is when everything's being wrapped up.
I do think that's kind of fun, though. I've sort of enjoyed that pattern, because it's like, here's the adventure for the day. Here's what we accomplished.
I guess. But even the old anime, I don't remember every single episode ending at dusk. But Teppan says he's going to change his ways, and we get a bit of information here, Geese. Turns out they ask him who he was going to sell that ball to. We think he's going to say the Explorers, but he doesn't. Geese, what does he say?
He says that he doesn't know, but the only thing he does know is that the person is a Pokeball artisan.
Ooh. And luckily, he's got the address of this artisan right here in his pocket. Here you go, guys. Here's the address to the Pokeball artisan.
The funniest part about this exchange was that during the entire episode, you're like, who is this guy who's willing to do this to two children, right? He's willing to attack children. He's willing to steal from, lie. He's willing to do pretty much anything outside of, like, maim somebody to get this Pokeball. And you think, who would prompt him to do that? The Explorers. Because the Explorers are evil, I guess. And you find out he goes, oh, no, it's just, I don't know. They just said keep an eye out for cool Pokeballs. So, there's a cool Pokeball.
But they were going to pay a lot. And then the kids decide, yes, let's go chase down this Pokeball artisan. To be continued. And now
Today's seminar is on Lamplet, the lamp Pokemon.
Lampent.
He's
This
Lun and
Pokemon
Lampent.
absorbs souls to light the flame in its body. It's said to often haunt a certain type of place many people are familiar with. Is it
Often
A?
haunt sounds like a very German last name, like a Baron. I'm Baron Offenhaunt.
Is it A, hospitals, B, schools, or C, libraries?
The answer will terrify you.
A, hospitals, because that's where people are the most weak and ready to die.
While this is happening, it's the happiest music. It's like do 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 do.
This episode is just so full of very weird placement of music, very weird placement of themes and concepts. I don't get it at all.
Maybe they goofed the music tracks in one episode, and the other one they just put the wrong tracks in.
The Korean TV show that I was finishing up had such a bad issue with that. I can't remember what the name of it was, but I was watching it. Oh, it was Little Women. I just kept thinking, so this was good. You were like, oh, okay, this is the good soundtrack.
If you were bad. I mean, if you were watching it on a Netflix or something, there's a chance they don't have the rights to the licensed music that it's supposed to have.
Yeah, but somebody still had to make those choices.
Yeah,
they weren't just like, put a 17 in and see what song pops.
Right, like every Pokemon episode in English, terrible music because they can't get the rights to the good Japanese music. I couldn't believe the trash Geese was subjecting herself through for Sun and Moon in English. In Japanese, it was the sickest songs imaginable. Anyway, moving on. We saw a cool picture at the end of the seminar, a spooky, terrifying picture of Captain Pikachu at a hospital as a lit wick, lampent, and chandelure all descend upon him. Spooky.
Question from the bench. Why are there so many Pokemon descriptions that are terrifying?
That's just how it be, yo.
World's a scary place, Taylor. And now, the episode is all over, and we can discuss our feelings and review score. It's certainly not as good as last week. It's not terrible. We had some fun moments. Everybody loved the whole scene with the cleaning up the radishes in the market. But there's like we said, there's so much that happens that's just unbelievable and silly, and that boring back and forth with the chasing and the Pokeball dropping and grabbing. It's probably like a 7.2 to 7.7 range, maybe. There's good parts and boring parts. That's what I gotta say.
Boring. It was boring.
I feel real bad for you, Geese, because it was literally just a fight for half the episode. A fight where nothing, a boring fight, even by people who like fights. What would you give it, Geese?
Like a 6.
Ooh. That's what I would give it as well.
Wow.
It was fine. It was fine. I laughed a couple times, which is why it's not lower, because it was just an unnecessary step to get to the person who collects Pokeballs.
But Honedge did look super sick. So
yeah, exactly. Yeah. There were sick moments. Like all of the stuff in the stalls was pretty sick, pretty funny at least. The Honedge fighting techniques, that was sick.
There was like 5 minutes of good content.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
We need Pokemon. We've said it before. I'll say it again. Pokemon shorts. Just get it out. Let's go. What did I say last time about that? Just you make the episode half as long and then just keep the good parts.
Just, you know what? Let's just do Pokemon TikToks. Each episode, 30 seconds. Let's go.
Gonna go. Ooh. All right. Is Geese, was that your whole review? Boring 6 out of 10?
Yeah, I mean, I was really hopeful. I love antiques. I was like, ooh, we'll get some lore. We'll get some fun world building and stuff. But nope.
Interesting that you say that, because I was also very excited about the antiques. I was like, what are Pokemon antiques going to look like?
Well, not to spoil, but I think next week we may be enjoying ourselves, because I've already seen people on Twitter discussing next week's episode. And first of all, you got lore people losing it, because people care a lot about Pokeballs, right? And we know next week's all about Pokeballs. So we get introduced to a bunch of new Pokeballs. So we'll see what happens.
That would also follow the pattern of one bad episode, one good episode.
That does follow the pattern, yep. Good, bad, cute, sick. Time to wrap it up, Geese. Let's move on to the wrap up of Look, Listen with Geese and Guyera and Taylor.
Thank you, everyone, for listening. Please follow us on social media at Look Listen Cast on Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. Thank you to Keith for our artwork. You can find him on twitch.tv/KeithSquared.
Shouts out to Professor Ticklebits for the website and the Taylor.
Mostly the boilerplate.
Thank you to our supporters. You can support us by going to looklistencast.com and clicking the link for Spotify for podcasters and or anchor.fm, or going to the podcast themselves, and there's probably a link. Please recommend this podcast to your friends and family, young children and grandmas. There's no swear words. And, of course, please send your questions every week to looklistencast@gmail.com, much like Triforce Vigor, who asked this week, what Thanksgiving dish would be what Pokemon's favorite dish? Taylor?
Oh, this is an easy one. It's a lamentably easy one. Cranberries or cranberry sauce, pretty much all of them, especially Fuecoco. Could you see that little guy going nuts for cranberries?
I think Pikachu would really like sweet potato casserole.
I can see that.
Cat Pikachu?
Any of them.
Any Pikachu you've ever met in your life?
Yeah.
I don't know if you two saw this, but I'll drop it in. I want to eat this burrito so bad, but it's only in San Diego, where I should be right now if it weren't for Taylor's night markets.
It's true.
Geese is shaking her head. Those eyebrows
I'm
are going to
shaking
do
my head
something.
because you should have gone.
Do you like the look of the burrito?
Yeah, it does. I mean, it's turkey.
Yeah, it does.
It does.
I want to try it so bad. It's got turkey, stuffing, gravy, cran chipotle, sour cream, cranberry puree, fresh fries, and cheese.
I once went to Boston and I had a sandwich I still think about. It was turkey. It was blueberry jelly, pickled onions, some other stuff. So good.
I'm mostly curious about the other stuff.
And because I've been playing Pokemon Sleep, the answer to your question, Triforce Vigor, is Snorlax eating the entirety of Thanksgiving dinner. God, I want some Thanksgiving poutine so bad. Oh my God. Thank you so much for your question, Triforce Vigor. Thank you all so much for listening. We've been going long, so now it is definitely time to leave. Okay, goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Goodbye. Goodbye. Bye. Adios.
Howdy, y'all. It's me, Geese Pete. Thank you for listening to the Geese Pete Productions podcast.
Geese Peep Enterprises, doing business as Peep Industries, together with its subsidiaries, is a diversified worldwide entertainment company with operations in media networks, talent management, parks and resorts, multimedia entertainment, and consumer products and interactive media. Geese Peep Enterprises is a Dow 30 company.